Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Hutchinson also confirmed that Trump cabinet members were actually discussing invoking the 25th Amendment, and that Trump was very reluctant to film that video that he finally released at 4/17, that one where he again, tacitly supported the violence at the Capitol while telling them, oh, we love you, go home. She also said that his White House counsel wanted him to release a video on the 7th to talk about national healing. But Trump said he didn't want to do that. And then when they finally got him to start coming around to that idea, he and Meadows wanted to include statements about him pardoning his supporters for January 6th. And his White House counsel advised against it. And then he and Meadows also wanted to include language to indicate that his supporters had done nothing wrong and that the only person who did anything wrong that day was Pence. And as for the witness tampering piece, this was just jaw-dropping. The committee relayed what January 6th committee witnesses had told them. So they asked everybody who they asked to come speak, they would ask them, have you heard from anyone from the White House, anybody involved with Trump in regard to your testimony? So they relayed these phone calls that these people received prior to testifying. One witness said, quote, what they said to me is, as long as I continue to be a team player, they know that I'm on the team. I'm doing the right thing. I'm protecting, I'll continue to stay in good graces in Trump world. And they have reminded me a couple of times that Trump does read transcripts. And just to keep that in mind as I proceeded through my depositions and interviews with the committee. Sounds like a veiled threat, doesn't it? Another witness said that they received a message saying, quote, a person let me know you have your deposition tomorrow. He wants me to let you know that he's thinking about you. He knows you're loyal and you're going to do the right thing when you go in for your deposition. Now, they said a person because they're not releasing any names. So they're not saying who all was involved, who received these messages or phone calls, or who made these phone calls. But yeah, this is witness tampering. And a couple of other juicy nuggets from today's hearing. One, we saw a snippet of Mike Flynn's deposition. And when he was asked if he believes in the peaceful transfer of power, he pleaded the fifth. He couldn't even answer that simple question. And Hutchinson confirmed that after Bill Barr's interview with the AP, after this was published, in which he confirmed that the DOJ had found no evidence of election fraud, apparently Trump threw a Trumper tantrum. The giant man baby allegedly threw his plate against the wall. So Hutchinson comes down the hallway. She finds someone cleaning up his mess in the dining room, and they motioned her in, and she comes in. She said she sees ketchup dripping down the wall. And they warned her, steer clear of Trump until he calms down because he's really mad. And there was a broken plate on the ground. And she said that she knew of other instances in which Trump had thrown plates, or he would flip the tablecloth. He would, flip the tablecloth over and knock everything down on the ground. He's a spoiled brat. He is a toddler in a disgusting man's body. What a whiny ass fucking baby he is. But I have to say, the one statement that Hutchinson made that really kind of summed everything up about January 6th, she said, quote, "We were watching the Capitol building get defaced over a lie." So, how do his supporters feel? Because some of them have the courage to watch this. How do the families of the deceased feel? Their loved ones died because of the toddler in chief, because he couldn't accept that he lost because he's a loser and that the majority of America hates him. That we hate him with a seething, burning passion because he's a sociopath who would do this to the country, who would lie for his own gain. Ashley Babbitt is dead because of Trump, because of Meadows, because of Giuliani and all of his enablers. Roseanne Boylan is dead because of Trump, because of Meadows and Giuliani and all of his other enablers. 5 officers are dead because of Trump, because of Meadows, because of all of these people who helped him, who enabled him, who helped him to perpetuate these lies. 140 plus officers are psychologically and physically injured, some permanently, because of Trump, because of Meadows, Giuliani, all of these people. Those are facts. The 800 plus people who are now doing time in prison, who can't own a gun ever again, who can't vote in the next election, who are on probation for years, who've lost their marriages, who've lost their jobs, who've lost family relations because of this, because they bought into these lies. They need to sue the living shit out of all of these people for the damage that they did to their lives, for the lives that were lost, for the lives that were destroyed. That's what I would do. Anyway, guys, it was a really, really shocking day. So, some of it we knew, but we didn't have a firsthand account of just how derelict Trump was in his duty to protect the country. He not only didn't protect them, he stoked the flames. He poured the gasoline on the fire and then stood back, crossed his arms like the little petulant, spoiled brat child that he is, and said, "Good, let it burn." He's a sick, sick sociopath. All right, guys, I'll let you know when I hear more. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care. I will talk with you soon.